Go ahead.
Rafael, you guys obviously got a lot older this summer, and 10 of the draft picks you took between 2021 and 24, 5 of those guys are now gone. How would you assess how you and your staff have been able to evaluate and develop the young draft picks, and do you see that shift towards experience going beyond this season?
To the very last question, I have no idea. We're worried about this season. Yeah, I mean, in terms of just developing guys, I think we're not a developmental team anymore. That shift probably happened a year or two ago, and I think the goal for this group is to win basketball games and be as competitive as we can be.
What was the biggest factor that made you guys want to acquire Kevin Durant?
It's Kevin Durant. I think he's really good. He's super efficient. He had a great year last year, so I mean he's obviously not he's not 30 anymore, but he hasn't really fallen off, and we just think we think he has a chance to really be impactful for us.
Rafael, what do you hope the young guys learn from Kevin Durant and can take from him as they're around him?
Yeah, we actually arranged for a bunch of those guys to work out with him last summer and the summer before. His work ethic is just awesome. Like the speed at which he goes, not in a game. I mean, obviously everyone tries hard in games, but the speed at which he practices and kind of the intensity at which he practices is something that has made him great over the years. And it started when he was very young, and so of all the things that I hope rubs off, that's the main one. I think that practice makes perfect, and I think one of the reasons he's had such an excellent career is because of the intensity with which he works day in, day out.
Ime and KD's kind of relationship is pretty well documented. How much was Ime a push for this trade, and what was his reaction when this trade went through?
I mean, I think organizationally we only do things when it makes sense for all of us, and so he was definitely an advocate for it, but only in this way. That by no means was there pressure to do something like this. We thought we were going to be a very good team coming back no matter what, and when the deal came through in this manner, I think we all wanted to do it.
What does Kevin bring that this team didn't have last season?
I mean, he has an easy time getting his own shot in the half court. He's hyper efficient, or has been hyper efficient in the half court, and honestly, that's what he brings to every team. So no team that doesn't have Kevin has his unique skill set. So he'll bring that here. There'll be for sure things we give up, but we like the trade-off.
How much do you think the Rockets' timeline to contend for a championship is kind of the same as Kevin's timeline of being in Houston?
We were the number 2 seed last year, and I think a very legitimate one. And so we think we can contend now. And we thought we won a close series. I mean, no, not one. We lost a close series last year, and we thought we had a real chance of contending in the playoffs last year, and we hope to have a real chance of contending in the playoffs this year.
Was it a difficult decision to move on from Jalen Green?
Yeah, like Jalen's awesome. He did everything we asked. He's a wonderful combination of talent and work ethic, along with being just a great human being. And any time that you have the privilege to work with someone who is talented and works really hard and is really nice, you should value it. And so for organizationally, we've valued him tremendously. So yeah, very hard.
Given that, what was the thought process in moving on from him?
I mean, it's the NBA, and you can only do trades if a certain amount of money goes out and a certain amount comes in, and there's some positional overlap, or at least overlap in terms of on-ball presence. And so that's what the deal required.
During the draft, Cam Whitmore was able to fall to you all at 20, and you at the draft night you said that he was very good talent, should have been a top 5 talent. What went into the decision to move on from him?
I just think, we're just not a developmental team right now. It's really like we wanted to provide Cam with the opportunity to do in his career what we still believe he very much can do. So I think Cam's insanely talented, really nice young man, and wanted to provide him an opportunity to go home and be in a situation where he could really play through mistakes in a way that we never could afford him just in the iteration of the Rockets that he joined.
Would you like to?
More offers for him as well?
Excuse me?
But were there more offers for you all
There's
out there besides Washington?
there's a lot of interest in him.
Do you feel like this roster is augmented well to kind of supplement Kevin's strengths and protect him at year 30 or year 19, age 37?
Yeah, I mean, on paper, but everything has to play out. But we like the fit. We think it works well. We think he will add to us, and we think we will help him.
Would you like to add to your? Would you?
He's obviously going to be 37 in September. What allowances will you guys make? Understanding the training is spectacular. His production has not tailed off, but he did play 62 games, I believe, last year.
I mean, he'll play when he can play, and we have what, again, is just on paper, but on paper is a very deep roster, and when he's not able to play, other guys will step up.
Would you like to add to your guard depth, or do you feel confident going into next season with your current backcourt?
I mean, I like our team as is. We always look for opportunities to do various things, but we're hard capped at the first apron, and we have no space left. So I think very likely we'll enter the season with, looking very similar to the way we look at right now. It's
Where do you
pretty hard not to.
Where do you hope to see Reed Shepherd grow and roll next season?
I mean, Reed's just gonna have to be really good for us. Period.
What have your initial conversations with Kevin been like, and what do you think attracted him to this situation?
I mean, I think he liked our team. Lots of people liked our team. We were a very young, very, very good team last year. So I assume that's the obvious and what attracted him. In terms of my initial conversations, he's been great. Like, super excited to be here, excited to get started, excited to get to know the young guys, just be a part of it all. Sounds wonderful, but it's July. That's every hope springs eternal. So we for all of us, we're going to have to put in the work and earn everything we get.
The Clint Capella signing, does that sort of signal a willingness to go more double big next year?
For sure, we loved that lineup. Once we discovered it last year, we thought it was really, really effective for us. Also, Clint just adds something we don't have in terms of being kind of a center who can move a little bit easier on the perimeter, also as a lob threat. Finally, we just think depth is super important, and as we're trying to make it through the season, we don't want there to be huge drop-off. So we did not anticipate going into free agency that we would be able to get Clint, but we're ecstatic when that materialized.
It hasn't been announced yet, but do you mind if I ask you about Jabari? Just extending him and that decision?
I mean, we're super happy to extend Jabari. Like, he's an enormous part of what we're doing, what we did last year, what we did the year before, and the year before that, and what we think our future is. So Jabari is super important to us.
How much of moving our man back to his natural position of guard went into also being able to bring in Kevin Durant?
Yeah, I mean, a man makes a lot of what we do possible, because you can just kind of decide that today's a point guard, tomorrow's an off guard, then he can be a power forward. We played him as center. Like that's one of the great things about a man and his particular skill set is that it allows you to slot other players in very easily.
I know he'll probably bring a lot, but what is the biggest thing you hope that Kevin Durant will add to your team or bring to your team?
I mean, I think he's offensively, he's still dynamic. He's super efficient. He's a high volume scorer, at that high level of efficiency. And hopefully he just makes us a better offensive team, while at the same time being another really long, very capable wing defender. And so, so we just hope he adds him, the player that he's been for the last 2 decades almost.
You said this is no longer a developmental team. Do you feel like the championship window has opened up for you all, especially with acquiring Kevin Durant?
I mean, our goal is definitely to win a championship. I don't know about the window opening or closing or whatever else. In order to be a champion, you have to beat them. Oklahoma City had just an amazing year last year, an amazing run in the playoffs. It's an extremely high bar, and there's other really great teams all around the NBA. So I think it's way too early to talk about championships, other than, for obvious reasons, that's our goal.
What were some of the factors that went into signing Durant Finney-Smith as opposed to some of the other available free agents this offseason?
I mean, we felt like we really wanted Dylan. Well, I talked earlier about Jalen, but Dylan it was everything we could have asked in terms of being a great person on and off the court, and we felt like his defense and intensity were things were really important to us, and we uniquely thought Durant has some of those same traits, and so he was a target for us going in because we were worried about losing.
Is how this team matches up against Oklahoma City something you guys thought about more so than all the other 28 teams, perhaps?
No, I think we're just trying to put together the best team we can.
We talked a lot about the. Go ahead.
How about just an added bonus to seemingly be able to improve the three-point shooting?
With Dorian or Kevin or just in general?
All the
I mean, we were really good at getting our misses. It would be better if they went in the first time, but like we just want to score. We want to be as good offensively as we can. We don't really care how. Having said that, no one turns down shooting.
We'll take two more.
We talked a lot about the players, but what did it mean to bring DJ Augustine into the organization?
DJ's my guy. I'm very happy to have him in our front office.
All right, thank you.